Thanks to the market's sell-off, we finally have some dividend deals out there. In a moment, I'll highlight a 5-pack of sweet-paying dividend stocks, as in, 4.0% to 11.3% yields, that are cheap cash cows. It's important that we focus on value, cash flow and yield as we cherry-pick the bargain bin. More pain is likely ahead for the broader markets. Stocks have been a dumpster fire in 2022 because the Federal Reserve is turning off its money printer. The Fed's balance sheet growth is flattening, already a problem for equities, and will shrink soon. Fed taper, big problem for stocks. Meanwhile, Russia's war machine and China's latest COVID fight have made an even bigger mess of global supply chains, further fueling already white-hot prices. What people might not know is just how weak all stocks are. The Nasdaq is well in bear market territory this year, driven lower by a Wall Street that suddenly cares about valuations. Uber frothy tech components have been yanked back to earth. But the Dow DOW and even the S&P 500 are still in the midst of mere correction territory. Not great, obviously, but how bad could it be? Pretty bad, as it turns out. While the index itself might not be in a bear market right now, nearly a third of the S&P 500's components are. And a fat 14% have shed 30% plus. That's miserable news for current shareholders, but great if you're like me and on the hunt for a deal. But we have to be careful, as relying on simple traditional measures of valuation could backfire when we evaluate distressed stocks. Take price to earnings, or PE. It's one of the most basic metrics that all investors are taught to put to work. But it's also based on net income, which ultimately is an accounting measure that's pretty easy to manipulate. Forward PE, while at least looking ahead, has a similar issue. That's why, when I want to make sure I'm getting a true bargain, and not just a cheap stock, I want to home in on price to free cash flow, or FCF. Free cash flow is a snapshot of how much cash a company is making once it has paid the cost of maintaining and growing its business. And unlike net income, EBITDA and other adjustable measures, cash can't be adjusted. And on that basis, the following 5 high-yielding dividend payers are priced to sell. That means we have the opportunity to not only pick up a few annual payouts of between 4.0% and 11.3%, but improve our odds of enjoying ample price appreciation over time.